When you look at the snowy owl, there are no two snowy owls that look identically the same. Their plumage coloration, the shape of their head, the shape of their feathers, the size, the build, and their personalities are totally different as well. My name is Norman Smith, and I've been working with snowy owls at Logan Airport since 1981, 43 years. Well, they're certainly the largest owl in North America by body mass. They come from the Arctic, so they fly 3,000 miles just to get here. So we don't know why they come down to the Boston area. Logan Airport has the highest concentration of snowy owls in the Northeast that we know of. And when they come there, it probably looks more like home to them than any place else. It's 1,800 acres of wide open fields, tundra-looking habitat. It's surrounded on three sides by water, which provides good food sources, lots of waterfowl there. There's rats and mice on the airfield. And it's amazing to think of these birds like owls that have really sensitive hearing, perhaps the best hearing of any creatures on Earth, and to think that they can sit along the edge of an active runway while these jets are landing and taking off. The noise is so loud sometimes that you have to put your fingers in your ears when you're close by to these things, yet these owls can be out there roosting and fast asleep with one eye open or closed. It's just amazing to me. Well, one of the things about Logan Airport is Logan Airport had an electrical plane that ingested starlings in all four engines, and it crashed. It was the worst air crash caused from birds anywhere in the world. At that point, they decided to create what they call a bird patrol, to patrol airports to keep them bird-free. And the protocol that was put in place at most airports was if you see birds and they cause a threat at the airport, you shoot those birds. And during the winter of 2013-14, there were airports that shot at least 50 to 60 snowy owls. And JFK was one of the airports where 2 snowy owls were shot, and it got into the media, and it turned out to be a big thing. And then, according to the New York Times, Boston had one up on New York because they actually catch their snowy owls at Logan Airport and had been doing that since 1981. And why not try that? This is a bow net that I actually designed so that the springs are strong enough so it'll put the net over it, but if it hit an owl, it wouldn't injure the owl at all. I use the mice and voles to attract the owls. They stay in the cage so that the owl can't get them, so the mouse doesn't get hurt. You sit in the vehicle, use the vehicle as a blind. I actually have a fishing rod with a string. When the owl comes in, I take the fishing rod, reel it in, it triggers the trap, and the owl gets caught. We take the owl out safely. So if we're going to catch the birds to remove them from Logan Airport, it makes sense to collect data on the birds at the same time. We actually take weights of the bird.
2444.
We put a band on one leg, a U.S. Fish and Wildlife band that has a unique serial number, very similar to your Social Security number, so we can identify that bird if it's ever captured or found anywhere. And one thing that was really interesting is we thought that the owls lived to be maybe 10 to 12 years old. And 4 years ago, I caught a snowy owl that had a band on it that I had banded 24 years ago. And it was in excellent condition. And you have to wonder, how many times did that snowy owl journey back to Massachusetts during that 24 years? And then we actually get tail measurements, wing measurements, collect parasites off the bird, and look at the plumage to see whether or not the bird is a young bird or an adult bird. The other thing we want to do is try to sex the bird, whether it's a male or female as well. Then we transport them to the location and release them. Snowy owls in the Arctic eat primarily lemmings, a little mouse-like creature. Climate change, changes in the Arctic could have an effect on snowy owls for sure. The lemmings need snow to burrow under to create good brood, so when the snowy owls come to breed, there's lots of lemmings for them to eat. The more lemmings there are, the more eggs the females lay, the more nests there are, and the more owls there are to travel further south. Certainly some of these owls are not going to make it. I mean, they're young, they're inexperienced, they have to perfect the skill of hunting, avoid predators, avoid contact with planes, jets, cars, power lines, rodenticide poisoning, and of course birders and photographers as well, to be able to survive to make it back to the Arctic.
You know, these birds are trying to roost during the daytime and trying to conserve energy. And what people don't realize is when they keep flying the bird and flushing the birds are staying active all day. And then they have to be active at night to try to find a meal. And they don't get that chance to have downtime to actually rest. They look dainty and you know, so mild-mannered when they're just sitting there, but when you see them in action and hunting, they're a totally different creature. They're an incredible predator. They wait until under the cover of darkness and they go out and hunt then. What do they use? They use speed and agility. They come in just like a falcon. I've seen snowy owls catch birds like black ducks that are pretty fast-flying ducks. They'll just chase them off the water and they'll come up and get right behind them and take them right out of the air and take them right down. I've seen them catch American kestrels, short-eared owls, great blue herons, Canada geese, brant geese. I mean, big prey items. Snowy owl, several years ago, that took a peregrine falcon. This peregrine came in, it was a young bird, came in, harassed the snowy owl, while the snowy owl was roosting and sleeping, bopped him off the back of the head, woke the owl up. It proceeded to take off and flew into a flock of starlings. It grabbed one of the starlings, it took the starling to the ground, and little did it know, but that snowy owl was right on its tail. That snowy owl came in and grabbed that peregrine falcon and had him for dinner. And the ironic component of the story is that starling got to tell his buddies how that snowy owl saved his life. I look at it as that's one of my birds. And, you know, each and every one of them is just as special as the first one that I've ever captured. I just hope that when my grandkids and their grandkids grow up, that snowy owls will still be around so they get a chance to see them and appreciate them like I have.
These birds are symbols of the Arctic, and the Arctic is changing, and we don't know what the future holds for them. My goal and objective in life is just to get people excited about these incredible creatures. You know, the bottom line is we want to get people to care about this world we live in so we can protect it for future generations.
So we all ready to see this bird fly off?
What a wandering bird they are, for sure.